Hi beautiful people! So I'm so excited to share that I'm starting a new series on this channel. The story of how it kind of all came to be and how I got inspired to do it is so cool to me, and I can't wait to share that with you. But first I just want to talk about what I'm going to be doing in this series, what we're going to be learning. Basically, I'm taking a lot of the main reasons why people don't believe in God, and I'm going to talk about why people don't believe in Him, try to get in their shoes and like understand their thinking and say, okay, I understand your point, but even with that, here's why I still believe. Okay, so this is not me trying to prove everyone wrong or anything, but honestly, like just walk in people's shoes and like trying to understand their thinking. And just say, okay, I get it, but here's why I still believe even with that, okay? I've done a lot of research on the reasons why people don't believe in God, and so I'm excited to finally be able to just sit down and just share it all with you. So today's video, to start this whole series off, is going to be why I believe even though we can't see God. So like every video in this series is going to be titled like why I believe even though we can't see God, or even though we can't blank, okay? I don't want to give it all away, but today's is going to be why I believe even though we can't see God. So this brings me to why I started this series, which is cool because it goes back to like how God's timing is so perfect. For my major, we have to go into classrooms. I'm an elementary education major, by the way. So like, I want to be a teacher. And so for my major, we have to go into elementary classrooms and observe and teach lessons and stuff. And for this particular one, I was just observing in a science classroom, an elementary one, and they were learning about forces, like a push or a pull or an object, or like friction, gravity, that kind of stuff. They were just learning the very basic stuff about forces, and they were watching a video, and in the video this kid was asking a scientist questions, and the question that the kid asked to the scientist and his answer literally inspired this entire thing. It was like, what? Like, it was so cool. So what the kid asked the scientist was, let me read it to you to make sure I have it perfectly word for word. Okay, the student asked the scientist this: how do we know that forces exist if they are invisible? And then the scientist's answer to this kid was, we know that forces exist because they affect everything and are always at work, even though we can't see them. Now, to me, sitting in this class, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And so I wrote it down as fast as I could, and then literally just change a couple of words. This is why it's so cool. Change like 2 or 3 words and you have this question: how do we know that God exists if He is invisible? Answer: we know God exists because He affects everything and is always at work even though we can't see Him. I love that, okay? Because think about this, like gravity. We can't see it, right? But obviously, like, we know that it's real because I'm sitting on the ground right now. I'm not floating around, right? And just like that, we can't see God, but we can see the evidence of Him all around us. Like, I believe that there is so much evidence for Him being here on earth because of the way He's affecting everything and working in everything. And I have 2 big lists, not huge, I have 2 lists of things that I've just like wrote down of how He's worked in my life, or how I've seen Him working in other people's lives, and how He's affecting everything. And even these lists, like, I'm going to explain this, but like these lists that I'm going to share with you, that's not even like scratching the surface of everything that God is doing and how He's affecting everything. Like, we can't wrap our minds around Him. But let me get the lists for you to explain it all. So I have everything on my computer, like list of everything on here, and I'm just going to kind of read to you what I wrote and then like talk to you about it. So starting with how He affects everything. God is the one who causes the sun to rise, right? Like every day, like when we wake up, we don't even realize that, someone, I think, has to be in control of us waking up every morning, causing the sun to rise. Like those little things that happen every day, I think that someone has to be in control of all of that. That's one of the ways He's affecting us, is like He's causing the sun to rise. He's causing us to wake up every day. The next one, He gives us breath in our lungs. Like, the reason why we can breathe right now, like we have breath in our lungs, is because God is the one breathing into us every day and every moment. How I can live, how I can treat people, all of that is because He is changing everything, okay? I have the capability to love my enemies. I have the capability to forgive them and to love them. I couldn't do that if not for Him affecting me, if not for Him loving me first. Like, the last thing I wrote on here is like, there are so many other things that I can't even begin to understand, but every day when like things work out perfectly, like the organs in our bodies work so perfectly, and our cells, like everything goes right, like I don't think that's all just happening randomly. I think that there's a creator like in control, like working and doing things, affecting everything. So that is how he affects everything. That's my short list, okay? But just know that it goes much, much deeper than that, and like he is affecting everything, even the things that we don't understand that he's doing. Okay, so the next section is how God is at work, okay? This one's a little bit longer, but it's so cool because I think this one is more obvious, I guess. Like, if you really look, like, you can see how God's working in people's lives and in your own life too. So, how is he at work? God is working in our hearts and our lives every day, okay? God can soften the hardest of hearts, and he can change hearts. He can transform lives. He can heal broken hearts, restore what's been broken. Like, our hearts, like, he's constantly chasing after them and just working in them. So with our hearts, like just that one thing that I'm talking about, you can see all the things that he's doing. Like right now, he is healing. Right now, he's changing. Right now, he's restoring. That's just the beginning. Like I said earlier, just scratching the surface of what he's doing. That's one thing that God's doing, is working in hearts, changing hearts, healing hearts. He is making all of his plans work out for us perfectly. This one, it kind of takes time to see this, because when you look back at your life and see like, wow, everything worked out so perfectly for me, you know, all these things that happened to me, they worked out. How did that happen? That's not because of just randomly things working out. That was because he was working in your situation. He was making everything work out perfectly. Like, there's a reason why it all worked out, and that's because he was affecting it. All right, the last couple I'm just gonna read because I have so much more to share, and like I wanna make sure I get there. So God is always providing for our needs, answering prayers in really cool ways, working through us to encourage and teach and help other people in the perfect timing, and to put us in places that we need to be. God is affecting us because he's putting us like right where we need to be, right in the perfect timing. Okay, so the next part of this, I am not sure if this is going to make a ton of sense, so I'm going to try my best to explain, but I found this on the internet and I thought it was really cool and had a lot to do with why we can't see God. So I have a little diagram. Okay, I'm not the best drawer in the world, but basically I have drawn two stick figures on this piece of paper. Okay, so obviously, like when you draw like this is one-dimensional. These people are one-dimensional on here. Okay, so I in this situation would be their creator, right? Okay, I'm three-dimensional, and there's no way that these people could understand me or see me because they are one-dimensional and I'm three-dimensional. Okay, the only way that they could understand me or even see me really is if I myself became one of them and I drew myself in on the paper, right? So if I add myself, I'm that one, that small one. If I came onto the paper, it's then that they could understand me because I became one of them. Because other than that, like, they can't understand me, they can't see me because I'm way out of their brain's comprehension, if that makes sense. Now the reason I'm doing this is because God did this, okay? God stepped down into our time, became one of us so that we could see him, we could understand him, we could know his character and just like how much he loves us. And so part of the reason why we can't see God is because we can't understand him. The only, I guess, way we can understand God and like what he is, who his character is, all that stuff, like, is because of Jesus and the way that Jesus lived his life. So other than that, like, we can't see God. And it goes a lot deeper than this, like one-dimensional versus three-dimensional. Like, God is much, much greater than just a couple dimensions greater than us. Like, God is an infinite, holy, almighty, everlasting, eternal God who, like, we can't even begin to wrap our minds around. So don't just limit him to, like, being a couple dimensions greater than us. That was just my example because I thought that was really cool. But yeah, what I'm saying with all of this is we can't see God. Part of the reason, one of the reasons why we can't see him is because we just can't even begin to understand him. All right, so to close this video for the first one in the series, I just want to review, just saying, like, yes, even though I can't see God, I do still believe in him, because even though we can't see him, that doesn't mean he's not real. My favorite thing, like, that I've talked about through this video is the force thing, how even though we can't see forces, we know they're real because of the way that they affect everything and how they're working all around us all the time. And just like that, I believe that God is all around us, always working and always affecting everything. But that is everything for this first video. Just saying, like, I am so excited for the rest of this series. Like, I have at least 3 more ideas for it, and I just can't wait to finally share everything with you. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you're excited, because I am so stinking pumped. Okay, have a great day and know that you are so loved and so beautiful.